The first type and the most aggressive is the open drive. Now, you will see this play across multiple markets, and when you see this play, you need to be so switched on and alert because it brings with it great opportunity. So the first thing I'm going to do is, before we move through the text, I just want you to cast your eyes upon both illustrations. The first one you can see is just a basic drawing of what an open drive looks like. The big O is where we open. Now, as you can see, we open almost at the extreme. This could be obviously up or down. Now, when we open, trade is very quickly, prices are very quickly moved in one direction or the other with very little pullback. Now, if you look at the actual volume profile provided, look at the K and the L prints. Look how very little overlap there is, how much volatility there is relative to the rest of the day, and how quickly the market navigates from lower prices to higher prices. Now, this open drive or this early initiative sets the tone not just for the early morning or the cash open, but for the rest of the day. So firstly, open drives are the most convicted open, where long-term participants make decisions pre-open to move the markets intentionally. So there's an intention and initiative taken right from the gun when the markets open up. Note, it's an aggressive auction in one direction. There's the lowest odds of opening prices being revisited. So when we see this open drive, the probability of retesting those prices is very, very low. By that token, if we know it's a low probability to retest them, it gives us already a strong lean towards one direction or the other. Note that early open price or that early traded price, if it does get revisited, okay, it's an extremely important reference point. So if it does get revisited, not only is it sending us an important clue, but we now know that there's a strong potential for an aggressive move in the opposite direction. Note, we want to see volume increase to confirm that this isn't just an open test drive. We will talk about an open test drive in further slides, but note, you want to see, with this initiative taken very early on, you want to see higher relative volume. So what you would typically see in the initial balance is, remember we said in the initial balance the volumes are relatively low. So on this day type with this open, you want to see relatively higher volume on this open drive. Now, two examples of where you would typically see this is when you got an inside day break, so when the market took out the previous day's extremes relatively early on in the session or at the open, as well as obviously if we had some form of gaps in the market, which could be either technical or fundamental. So that's our first most convicted open play that you get in volume profiling. Then the next open play is the open test.